first 90 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, guys. Yeah, I thought we opened the game very, very nervously. I don't know why. Sundowns took advantage of that and moved the ball well. They played in between our lines and behind the back line, and we didn't have any real coordination in our pressing play, and we went chasing the ball a little bit. It meant that they dominated the first 10 minutes big time, and the goal came, and that didn't really help us at all. So I felt that we were getting better. I felt that we were getting a little bit of a better handle on their build-up play. I didn't like the fact that we suddenly started pressing really high without any sort of coordination or instruction from the bench. So we changed it back to staying compact and timing our press. Worked better for us. And I think in a decent period for us, they got their second goal, which knocked us back again. And at that point, it would be easy for the players to cave in, I think. You're playing the champions in the first game. And I thought they should take credit for the fact that they didn't. And we actually got back into the game, and in the middle of a decent period, we scored the goal, which lifted us a little bit. So already before we went in at half time, I thought we were back in the game and playing better. Our attacks became a little bit longer, and we were able to time some movement. Second half, I thought we were better all round. We defended a bit stronger. Our quality of possession was better. We turned over quickly in transition, and also we had a couple of longer attacks when the transitions weren't on. So it could have gone either way, I think, in normal time. Extra time it's fatigue, and you're afraid that a tired player is going to decide the game as much as a skillful player. And we go through that into penalties, and penalties is what it is. They held their nerve better than we did. And therefore, I've got to wish them all the best, and they go through. And it could have gone either way, but it didn't. And that's just to congratulate Sundowns and wish them all the best.
Super General, your hand is raised. You may go ahead, Mr.
Thanks, Chupi. Coach, it's Mazola here. Just your takeaway from this game. Obviously, first official game, first official lineup, and the fact that obviously you are missing out on a trophy. Obviously, there will be a lot of talk about Chiefs again stretching the drought, but also in general, what is the message given the first official game and the first glimpse of what Chiefs will look like going forward?
Well, I think if we talk about the first part, you said missing out on a trophy. I think you're playing the champions in the first round, and you get back from 2-0 down to 2-2 in normal time. I think if that was a PSL game, I think there wouldn't be many that were complaining about that result. This being a cup game, it goes into extra time and penalties, so that we have little less control over. That goes a little bit more into the lap of the gods. But in terms of the trophy, every tournament that you enter, if you're a serious professional club, you have hopes and dreams of winning, and we desperately wanted to put that to bed in penalties and move into the next round. Now we didn't, and I think that's what you need to discuss, that we didn't win a penalty shootout, because I think the actual game is not a disappointment. The actual game itself could have gone either way, and that's not bad when you're playing against the champions.
Next question, Pasha.
Thank you very much, Chupi. Good evening, Coach. Unlucky on the result, but I just wanted to kindly please touch on the character, the personality of the players. As you correctly said, they came back from 2-0 down to force a draw. Is it something that you've been working on in terms of the mentality of players, that never dies attitude, and is it something that we can see throughout the whole season? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. No, the players the players in training have been showing great energy, great resolve, and great commitment. And those things, if you do that, then usually you find that persistence and never give up attitude. I think actually they were disappointed in this game that we opened so weakly and went a goal down to I have to say a wonderful cross, but and a good finish. But from our point of view, it was very slack defending, and I think they were disappointed, and that drove them a little bit to keep pushing. And once we felt we would get a foothold in the game, I think they kicked on. Is that something that we want to have as a characteristic of Chiefs? Absolutely. And I would be disappointed if we don't. But definitely the lads, they deserve a pat on the back for their commitment to scratch and claw their way back into a game that, as I say, many teams may have folded and it could have been a 4-1 or a 5-1. But the lads really dug deep and almost got the result we wanted.
Thank you. Hi, Coach. Hard luck on the result here. But just wanted to ask, what did you think of, not Kamapilat, but Keegan Dolly's performance? Obviously came on as a sub and helped you guys to get back level with Mamelodi Sundowns. Just wanted to ask, what did you think of his performance and how soon are we likely to see him maybe starting games and contributing more to the team? Thank you, Coach.
Okay. No, look, Keegan he's been excellent in training in short bursts. Keegan's not played games for a while, and he's not in the shape that he wants to be in to be able to give his best. But Keegan being a very good player means that he sees things quickly, and his passing is good, and his striking of the ball is good. And we wanted to give him a half an hour or so today. Now, he went on and did a bit more than that. But I think Keegan, as soon as he gets his match tempo, as soon as he gets his match weight, and as soon as he gets a little bit more game time under his belt, then Keegan's going to be a great addition to Kaizer Chiefs.
Thank you so much. Hard luck on the defeat, Coach. I'd just like to find out, you guys brought in a goalkeeper ahead of the new season, and given the fact that it's a long season, it's a lengthy season as well, have you decided whether Kune will remain the number one, or will you switch it up as the season goes along? Thanks.
Yeah, look, we've got 4 goalkeepers. We've got 4 goalkeepers that, on any given day, any of them could be the number one. This is not about rotation. This is not mix and matching. This is about choosing the goalkeeper that's trained well, that's playing best, that's in the best shape, and he will suit the opponent. So if Itu plays outstanding, then we will not be rotating. But if we think that Itu's gone off the boil, or one of the others is playing outstanding and he will suit the next opponent better, then we'll make that change. But I have to say, we have 4 that I'm very comfortable with any one of them being the number one. And I'll listen to Lee, the goalkeeper coach, and the opinions of the rest of the staff, and we'll discuss that with the upcoming opponents, and we'll see who we think is going to do the best job in that game. And the competition is healthy. It's unhealthy when, if Itu gets put on the sidelines, he's all over social media and he's got a bad attitude in training. That is not the case. None of them are like that. Everybody is totally committed and supports the other one, no matter who it be.
We have the last question from Frank Branham.
Thank you, Shupi. Evening, Coach. Can you please talk about your opponents today? Were you surprised that your team could stage a comeback in a way? Thank you, against the champions.
No, not surprised, because I think we believed we could win the game before the game. But am I pleased? Absolutely, because Sundowns are a very good team. Sundowns are very well organised. They play a good brand of football, especially their offensive game, and they were very careful to try and counter press as hard as possible to stop any transitions that we may get. Now, that's the modern game, and it's go quickly on transitions and counter press quickly to stop transitions. When you can't do that, you have to keep the ball against an established opponent, and I think that is what Sundowns do best. They play in between, and they test your defensive distances all the time, but they do play on the edge, and we knew that if we set a few traps, that we could win the ball in areas where we could hurt them. So, am I surprised? No, because I believe in my team. But am I happy? Yes, because Sundowns are an excellent team.
Thank you, coach, and good luck for the next match against States.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Members of the media will have a press conference sometime this week ahead of the Amazulu game with Coach Rolani, probably on Thursday or Wednesday, but most likely on Thursday. We'll give you. Members of the media, Coach Manqoba is here. Coach, if you can just maybe give us a summary of the 90 minutes of the game.
120 or 90?
120. Plus penalties.
Good afternoon to everyone. I must say it was a game that we could have finished in the first half. We created a lot of opportunities. We made the game to look so easy, which I think also had an effect on us losing focus, more especially in the dying stages of the first half, where we started to have a little bit more touches on the ball and we lost possession. Immediately that resulted in a diagonal, which Parker caught us because initially the two strikers ran in as if they are going into offside position, and Parker came in late in that hole, which was not well covered. And then the contest became alive again. I must say it was very unprofessional of us to concede the second goal because it was our throw-in. And from our throw-in, we lost possession. I think Lyle maybe could have played behind Peter, in the open space. But unfortunately, when we lost that ball from Peter, then they came at us. But one must also give credit to Keegan. I think the pass was very good. And Kama was at his best on the day in terms of finishing, took it very well. And then it made the contest to be a little bit complex. But even then, afterwards, we still continued to create a lot of very good opportunities. Temba had a very big influence in those. Peter could have scored more. Pavol could have scored. Mayema could have scored. There are many opportunities that looked like we could get something. Even Tapelo in the far post could easily bring the ball back for another chance. That was a big chance. Chiefs, we knew they were going to catch us on transition, and we knew that they'll be compact central. That's why we wanted to overload one side and isolate on the other side. But sometimes we were not very quick to find openings to go to Lyle or Mudau, whom I believe Mudau had a very good game on the day. Very impressive for him to play the way he played, because it gives us confidence on the depth we have in that space. So one must congratulate the boys. I think they gave it a very good fight.
Mr. Dwala, your hand is up. You may go ahead with the question, sir.
Coach, I was actually from Israel as a coach. Do you think Coach now has the time to win this elusive MTN 80?
It's always difficult to say it's the time, but it's an opportunity. Because now we are in the semi-finals. If we can fight to go through the semi-finals, we can't play the final before we win the first match of the semi-finals and win the second match of the semi-finals to go through. So for us, at this stage, it's one step closer, but impressive to note that we went through from the quarterfinals to the semi-finals, because this has been a hurdle for us. This first match has always been a bigger problem. In as much as we did bomb out in the semi-finals against Cape Town City and bombed out in the semi-finals in the final against Feds, but it has always been a big challenge to step into the semi-finals. And looking at the attitude, the commitment of the players, the teamwork that I see from the coaches that we work with and the whole technical team and support staff, the camaraderie between the management, the technical team, and the support that we are getting from everybody else in the club, starting from the chairman, the board, and everybody else that is supporting the team. We think it is high time that we push for winning this trophy, but it starts with winning our matches that are coming first.
Hi, Coach. Congrats on the win. I just want to ask about Hashim Domingo. I think in a few press conferences last season, you mentioned the need for him to obviously adapt to the Sundowns way, and obviously having come from another team, he gets a start in the very first opener of the season. Decent performance, I thought. Is this a sign of things to come, that maybe he finally understands the Sundowns way and could be an important player this season?
On Hashim, same as Mudau. I think they had a very, very good preseason. In all the matches that we played in the preseason, they played exceptionally well. It was very difficult. Mngqithi had moments where he got injured and he was out. And that maybe gave Hashim a little bit more of a run during preseason. And if he continues the way he has continued, there's no chance that we can drop him. We believe he's got a lot to give. I still believe personally that there is still far more that we can get from him. He just has to stay more focused and maybe kill the anxiety a little bit. At times, he quickly gets into the mode of fouls and all that. But if he can just calm down a little bit, even upon losing possession, in as much as we counter press, but we still have to play hard and fair. I think those moments at times are a catch-22 on him, because he's very good on counter-pressing, but at times I feel he goes for a foul even when there was an opportunity to go just to win the ball and initiate another attack immediately. But one is pleased with how he has coped in preseason. But in fact, from the game that he played in Bloemfontein against Celtics last season, already the signs were showing that now he's coming down, because he's very hard on himself. He's a very good football player, make no mistake, but he has been playing with a lot of anxiety, and he does not want to fail. And at times in football, you need to be a little bit more controlled in terms of anxiety and your level of motivation and your emotional space. So we believe he's getting it right at this stage.
Jose, you ask your question.
Thank you. Well done, Coach, on the victory. Just wanted to ask a question in regards to one of the moments in the penalty shootout, which could have proved to be very pivotal, very problematic for your team, because Kune was judged to have saved a penalty, whereas when we saw the replays, it showed that the ball had actually went past the goal line. Just wanted to ask, does this such occurrences strengthen the case for a need for better technology to help out the referees and officials in such occasions, whereby clearly maybe they don't see everything as they should, and from our end, when we are watching at TV, it just takes a couple of seconds, and then we already know that the ball had crossed the line, and it could have proved to be very it could have maybe even knocked you out were it not for the heroics of your goalkeeper. Just wanted to ask your opinion on that, and obviously you guys also got a red card on one of your technical team. Just wanted to ask your opinion on that, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously the need for a VAR is there. Obviously, it makes a bit of a difference, but at times they also make a mistake even with that VAR. But on this case, Zakele was just there. So what is the use of bringing the linesman into that area if he's not going to be able to tell the referee that it's a goal? Because the linesman was 5-6 meters away from the situation. And unlike when he's on the touchline there, but it still went on. So it's one of those situations. I do not want to speak about them, because I also believe we had a penalty call on that side, second half. But again, we have to accept that everybody makes mistakes. We also make mistakes. But on the penalty one, it's a bit of a sore point. Now Wendell is on a red card on an incident that if they look at the video, they will realize that we made a mistake. These people were not shouting at us for nothing. We had made a mistake, but that's football. Let's not dwell too much on it.
Thank you, Shupi. Evening, Coach, and congratulations. What surprised you the most about your opponent's Kaizer Chiefs today? Thank you.
To be honest, I was not surprised. I will be lying to you if I say I'm surprised. Even when we're doing tactical agreements, we knew their strength on set pieces. We knew their potent nature on transition from defense to attack. We knew they would be having a very deep lying block, and they will compress the space in the central corridors, which gave us a chance to go to our fullbacks. That's why Lyle had a free day today. Mudau had a free day. It's just that sometimes players make mistakes. I would not say mistake. At times we force situations, even when we can see the people are compact in their heart and we want to try and force it instead of patiently going into the wide channels, maybe overloading one side in order to put a diagonal ball in the isolated side. But at times in football, you must accept those things. But everything that came out in the match, it's exactly what we anticipated. No one will say he did not anticipate that they'll be looking for quicker transitions. They'll be looking for balls into the box because they've got Nukovic. When you allow a cross, you allow a diagonal ball, and you allow a header, you must not complain when you are punished. And worse when you are even punished by Parker, not even a Nukovic. But those three incidences, you lose possession, you don't close down the diagonal ball from Nange, you don't close down the cross, then ultimately you concede a goal from a header. Already that's a comedy of many errors, but it's things that we must work on and improve, because we knew it's not like something that we did not anticipate before the match. A lot of the things came right and the players did very well. We must give credit at times, must not always complain. I believe they did well in many instances. They dominated the match. They dominated the field. They created a lot of opportunities. They took control of the game, which is what we always demand. But the mistakes that we made on the day are not forgivable easily, considering that for Sundowns to concede 2 goals in one match, it's too big.
Tashreeq? Tashreeq, your hand is up. You may go ahead, sir.
Sorry, Shupi. Thank you so much. Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. I would like to find out your thoughts on Zwane. He's now 10 years at the club, and despite that brief spell he had at Aces, he's been immense for the club. 32 years old, and he just continues to get better and better each season. Are you surprised by this, or how's his attitude in training week in, week out? Thanks.
The only thing I can say when it comes to Mngqithi is that I wish most footballers would take their careers as serious as it does. Very few talented players that I know work as hard as Themba Zwane. Very few talented footballers that I know are as focused as Themba Zwane. Very few footballers that I know have got passion for the game more than anything else. I would not tell you anything about his life outside football because his life is football. Themba is always thinking about training and playing matches. And even when you want to take him out, he will always complain. And talented players are usually very lazy, but Themba is one of the hardest working players. And I always pray for players like those that God should continuously bless them because very few players with that talent would work as hard as he does. Most professional player, I don't think you've ever heard anything negative about Themba in terms of him not coming to training maybe in a bad space. He has never had issues. No wonder he is as successful as the legends like Surprise Moriri and other players that have played for too long, even players that have committed themselves to the game.
Last question from Zakele. Is it a follow-up, Zakele? Is your hand still up?
No, it's an all hand, but I can go again if there's no one.
No, last question from me. Thank you.
Coach, please help me. What happened with Nascimento? Is he really gone? Is he still part of Sundowns team? Because we've heard the many stories about him asking to leave. Yeah, thanks.
No, on that one, I would not want to make too much of unnecessary noise. Ricardo is injured and is nursing his situation, and as a club at this stage, all we have to do is to support him and hope that he gets well soon. Thank you.
Sandra, that's the last question. Thank you.
Thank you, Shupi. Evening ago, Coach. Laila K, his pinpoint crosses and free kicks, is he working twice as hard at training? Thank you.
I think at times even competition can help you to get that, because throughout the preseason training, Lyle has been in top form because Divine Lunga is also working very hard behind him. Sfiso Ngoben is working very hard behind him, and he puts extra hours. He's a very good professional, a very good boy. And it's those players that I always say, I put them in the category of Themba Zwane, because those are the players that you will never have any issue. You'll never hear there was a disciplinary case on Laila K. There are no issues like that. He's focused, he knows what he wants. He gives everything in training. In all the limitations that he may have, he compensates by giving everything that he has. And technically, no one will say he doubts his ability. He's one of the best technically. That's why he helps us on set pieces. His crossing ability is unbelievable. And the short set goals that he takes, he was unfortunate not to score today. That was another big chance, which could have been one of our best goals if we scored that one, because it was from a very good build-up and the whole creation of the chance was very good. So Laila K is a very committed footballer, and you can only wish that players like those are always given a little bit more by God in order to stay in the game, because they give everything to the game.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Colleagues, you can send me a message with regards to the recording. Thank you.